What happens behind the scenes, characters' personal goals or quiet dealings often take place apart from the party, hidden in the shadows. A master assassin not revealing his contract to the paladin, nor the powerful mage whose hobby is to bake bread and sell it on the black market. This is the place for secret affairs, shady dealings, or family life. Welcome to the Shadow Sessions. Renara gets her first request as a companion. As she looks over the dossier, she finds out that he is one of the most eligible bachelors on the continent of Shill. Zen will accompany her for the meeting, as well as her brother, Seth. Turns out that they find out it is much deeper than originally expected, as it is a diplomatic mission and something involving space itself. What will happen? This is the Shadow Session. Welcome back to Original GM. I'm Hupahu. This week I'm joined with Hawk and Cikala. Last week was Wachi's Shadow Session. This week is kind of Ren's Shadow Session, but her brother is her guardian as a companion, so I don't know what's going to happen. You mentioned a few things, but you're going to let him know, so
yeah.
So he was invited to this shadow session, and you and Zen were at the Temple of Aphrodite, getting ready, and you were at the cradle, just finishing up your shopping list, so to say. And we'll go from there. If you guys are ready, is there any? You guys got any questions? Good week? Everything good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to talk about?
Yeah.
That normal stuff.
No, I'm sorry. Do you have anything?
I was just rolling on the floor with the cats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wachi is joining us as a studio audience today, and my mother's back there as well.
Yep.
And so, no pressure on you two to perform, because you actually have somebody in front of you that you're going to have to perform. You know, it's easier on camera when you don't see the people, right? Sure, you guys will be fine.
I've never had a problem performing.
Listen to him brag.
I know, right?
All right. So yeah.
Seth received a telepathy from Red.
Okay.
Is it okay if I?
Yeah.
Or are you going to start with him?
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I'll shut up.
No, you go ahead.
Seth receives telepathy from Red. She'll say, "Hey, I have a potential client, and I need a guardian."
I'm on my way.
Okay.
I'll meet you at you're at the temple, right?
Yeah.
I'll be right there.
Okay.
And he heads that way.
Okay.
She'll look at Zen and say, "You're going with me, right?"
Am I?
She'll smile at her.
You want me to attend you?
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
I didn't want to assume I was going to have to do that.
Of course.
She smiles. Of course I'll go.
Okay. Good.
Are we going alone, or are
No,
we getting a...
Seth's coming.
Is he a guardian? That's right, he's a guardian.
Yeah. That's why he can go anywhere in here.
Well,
He's got that little pass that he carries around.
that little pass?
No, like the piece of paper.
Oh. I'm sorry, my mind is in the gutter right now, thinking about how handsome he was.
I know, it's a little suspicious.
Yes. Do you know anything other than, what did you find? And she starts pulling him up.
Yeah, she'll say, so it said in there in the secret files that he might be part of the Holy Hosts, which is interesting. I find that a little strange. But I know, like, it's a vast organization, so that doesn't necessarily mean... But, like, he's squeaky clean.
She's looking
Zen.
at it, the image on her.
Yeah. She's like, he's squeaky clean. Like, he's as clean as Nas. It's so bizarre. He's never been married. Doesn't have a girlfriend.
And it shows he's never requested
No, he's been a part of
A
the...
companion.
He's been there. He's been on the registry for 10 years.
Why has no one requested him? And she's looking at it.
No.
Oh, you're right. This is very suspicious.
Isn't it weird? And then it says diplomacy and companionship is what it said under the request. So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing.
Well, companionship is companionship.
Right, but the diplomacy piece of it, I don't know what that might entail. I don't know, we'll see. I'm kind of excited, but like I'm a little suspicious, so we'll see.
Well,
we'll see what happens.
We'll feel it out. How about that?
Okay.
So here is Sojourn Hightower. She's looking at him on her watch, and she's like, so it shows he's part of the Brotherhood, dear.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that. I know it's like a high-to-do men's club, kind of, right? With like merchants and...
Yes.
So if you look, it says in there, there's nothing that he doesn't trade in.
He's 53 years old, and he's...
Well, he's Vulcan.
Oh, yes he is, you're right. Okay.
So, a 50-year-old Vulcan is like a 20 or 30-year-old human.
Yeah.
Right.
About that point, in through the door comes Seth. He walks in, he's got his mask on.
Hey. While she was getting ready, they were getting her ready, could she have meditated?
Yeah.
Okay. And rememorized
You could have
spells.
done it before that. There was plenty of time.
Cool.
She's like, well, you look different. Not near as attractive. Just saying. I guess that's a good thing, isn't it? Oh, and he's even creepier because he doesn't talk now. She turns her head. Oh, well. She kind of ruffles her hair back, and there's 3 or 4 priestesses in here that are dolling them up, who all kind of look at you like, like you look scary. And they go back to putting on their makeups and finishing dressing them. Knockouts, of course. Both of them. You see the guy. She's holding up the magic eye stone that's on her wrist, and she sees the image of the guy, the illusionary image of him, and you see him, you see what he looks like. And underneath it, it has, you know, all of the information about him and everything, and she's looking at it. He's much older than your sister, for sure. Zin's like, so nobody's requested him, and he's requested nobody.
Yeah.
He's been a member for over a decade.
I know.
He's not married. He's a businessman. It sounds like he's a busy man.
Yeah.
For no one to have requested him, we should ask what the girls, what others think. If anyone else has any information. Maybe Marianne. She looks at the girls in front of you. She's like, do any of you know any information about this individual? And they're all like, no.
What's the lady that works behind the desk? What's her name? In the record room?
Rachel.
Rachel?
Mm-hmm.
She'll say, maybe Rachel knows.
We could ask her, I guess.
I could telepathy her and just ask her.
Okay.
She'll say, hey, Rachel.
She's like, so is that what you're wearing? She looks at Seth as she's sitting there. Rachel's like, yes, dear, what is it?
I have a question. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on Sejord Hightower? Lord Sejord Hightower?
I've heard the name.
I read his file. I'm just curious if you know why nobody's requested him.
I don't, dear. Is he ugly?
No.
Is he mean?
Not from the conversation I had with him.
Did he barely get vetted?
No. He exceeds all the criteria.
That's odd.
It is odd.
Or maybe ask Pris or Nerva.
Okay.
Pris would probably know.
Okay.
Oh, is it? Is that what you're wearing? Are you trying to intimidate the clan? Trying to run him away? This could be big money and power for your sister.
suggestion.
Look as good as humanly possible. Sit down in that chair. Let's fix you up so that when he sees you, he'll have competition and he'll have to really step his game up.
She'll just love with you, Chris.
Okay. You telepathy Frisk. She's like, well, hello.
Hi. I know you're busy with being the new curator.
Oh dear, what do you need?
Congratulations,
What do
by
you
the
need?
way. So I have a potential client, and he's been part of the registry for like a really long time, and none of the girls have requested him, and I'm just curious why.
What's his name?
Lord Sejord Hightower.
I'm sorry, dear. He requested you?
Yes, I'm getting ready to go meet him right now.
Wow.
Do you know why none of the... What am I missing?
Because he's out of their league, dear. He's probably the most eligible bachelor on the whole continent.
Oh.
I would never turn down a meeting with him.
Well, I'm getting ready
As a
to
matter
go
of fact,
right
do you have
now.
an attendant?
I do.
Oh.
I invited Zen. I'm sorry.
Do you have a guardian?
Yes, Seth.
Well, shit.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, dear. It's okay. You didn't know. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Maybe it is true. You're trying to take over my spot. And she giggles.
You're cute. It's not funny anymore.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck. And I do request that we meet after this and you tell me all the details.
Okay. We'll talk.
Yes, please.
We'll talk.
Okay.
For sure.
Very powerful merchant, love.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I can tell you that he does not spend, normally he has not spent the majority of his time within this crystalline sphere. It's normally outside of here.
Really?
Yes, he's from Monarch, one of the 100 noble houses. His house is the Hightowers. His mother is a well-known, powerful witch.
Is she?
She is.
Oh, how interesting.
Yes, she is with the Great Maiden Coven.
Never heard of it.
They're from here, dear.
Okay.
Your friend Doll's probably, well, is she in a coven?
I don't know.
Well, I would mention that to her if I were you.
Okay. Yeah, she's been in the Gold Star Academy most of her life, so probably not. That's a good idea. Thank you. I'll make sure to mention that to her.
Yeah, of course. I'm trying not to be jealous, but goodness, I mean in a good way, you know. Congratulations. That's all I have to say. And please contact me when it's through so we can discuss. Remember your training.
Yeah.
This is important.
It is important.
All right, we will talk soon.
Okay. She'll just give me-
So do you sit down when she says, okay, so she stands up. So you're talking to her, but you see Zen stand up and she comes over and starts taking some stuff off of Seth, takes his mask off, puts it on the counter, and you see her grab a couple of the priestess. She talks to him, says a couple things to him, and they come over and they start decking your brother out. And
Yay!
she says something about the hair to them, and they're like, well, we could make it longer. She goes, longer? We could braid it. That will look good. And she'll look at him like, yeah, we could do that. And so they start making Seth up alongside you and Zen. You look at Zen and she looks perfect. They haven't done anything to her yet, really. She looks perfect.
That's wonderful.
And you guys continue to do that, and
She'll tell you, you're so pretty.
oh,
Goodness.
you.
So
So
I told
now that we're doing all this stuff and we're here, and we've completed this, I would like to ask you ladies to please leave us alone for just a moment. They can walk out. She turns and looks at both of you. She goes, I have looked through the contract,
Oh boy.
and
What'd you find?
She pulls out a scroll and hands it to you guys. Actually opens it up on the table. Here is your contract. If you look at the capital letters within this contract and you put them together, it creates the sentence, I seek power in return. I offer my time and might. By this pact, I bind my will. There was no hidden devil script. It did appear as though there was, but that was a distraction. It came to me last night.
Came to you?
Yes. Through questions.
Oh.
You know, so basically, all of this is true above it. Still. So your soul is not given up. If you leave Queensland, you're fine still. But you're stating that you offer your time and your might, and that you're binding your will. Meaning that it should always be on the tip of your tongue and at the top of your head. And I'm sure he will use this to his benefit when the time comes. She sighs and she says, I really appreciate what the two of you did for me in freeing me from him. But now it's my turn to help you get away from him. We have to do something about this. This contract cannot stay forever.
Well, the contract states that after we gain power and fight the big bad, both of them, that's all we have to do. So wouldn't it just resolve itself at that point? Once those fights are said and done?
Perhaps. It's never stated what the big bad is. Do you understand what I mean? It talks of the nexus, right?
Yeah.
We can worry about that later and take this evening as for what it is. I just thought you both should know.
Thank you, Sam.
You get a message from your eye stone.
Should I look at it?
It's him. It says that he's located at the docks in Queensland, awaiting your arrival. And he gives you the dock number.
Okay. She'll look at them and say, he's here.
The dock number that he gives you is right here,
Okay. You guys ready?
next to the old manor. Which is weird. He's not in the air, you know.
Yeah. It's like an actual ship.
You're not sure.
Interesting. Pirate? No.
All right, so you guys head that way.
Yeah.
You get down to the docks and there's a small rowboat there. And there's a kid that's probably around 14 years old or so standing next to it, looking around. He sees you, he's like, waves
She'll
at
walk
you.
up. Hello.
Hi, are you here for... something specific?
Yes. I'm meeting someone.
Name?
It's the Jordan Hightower.
Okay, yeah, you're the guys. And he smiles, he goes, you're supposed to get in this boat.
Seth will offer his hand to help them both in the boat.
Okay. Zen will take it, she'll get
climb
in.
the boat.
You get in. What do you do, Seth?
And then I'll get in.
All right, Seth, you get in and you see Seth start to shake. He looks at the water. Seth, you look at the water and you're like, oh, fuck. he looks really uncomfortable. He starts to like get up and get out of the boat, and that's about the point that you guys disappear. And you reappear. You are in a completely different location.
Do I go with them? Or?
Yes.
Oh, good.
You are located.
Yeah, I don't like boats.
He doesn't like boats.
I love to swim.
I
but
remember you telling me that. I
don't
forgot
like
about
boats.
that. I forgot.
Where you appear, the construction is unlike anything you've ever seen before. The floors and walls are made of some sort of metal. You see paint on the floor, like somebody's painted things. You can look at the area around here. These are basically what we would call an airlock. And there are 3 of them. Over here, some sort of mechanical arm. And these things seem to work on arcane magic. As you look around, you can see that there's arcane stones in some of the stuff. It's magical in nature. There's a grate in the center of the floor. You see a couple lights that are green and some kind of force field like door that's located over here. That through it there's paint on the floor. And in front of you is a half frost giant with a big smile on his face.
Just step forward.
Okay, and this is the 3 of you right here. You step forward and you see a sign that has red arrows going towards it, and it says stop, like almost like you're not supposed to be where you're standing. And Seth, you'll see on the floor it says warning. And you're standing on some yellow paint, but it's not wet.
So like they need to move beyond that.
I mean, from what the floor says, it seems like you would. But anyway, you step forward. Zen will follow you.
So will I.
Okay, so all 3 of you come up to here. So when you get close to him, you realize he's dressed in military garb, but nothing you've seen before. It's a dark blue in color with yellow trim. And he has insignia, and the insignia you recognize immediately as he's a commander. And over to the side, you see what looks like a star symbol that's going straight up and down, and smaller symbols that go off to the side, but it's definitely a sun.
Heraldry?
Roll it.
No. Wait. No. Nope. Not even with my pluses.
We didn't roll our hit points.
Oh wait, yes. Before we do this, you guys, you need to roll your hit
Thank you.
points.
We
So that
leveled.
actually, I'm not going to make you make a heraldry symbol roll on that because it's right across the street from. No, this is written. Yeah. No, yeah, it'll require heraldry. You've seen this symbol before, Ren. It's a star of some sort, but the top and the bottom are longer than the rest of it.
Okay.
Yes, they leveled you guys 2 levels ago. Viewers, they leveled, or 2 or 3 episodes ago they leveled. They forgot to roll hit points, and so they've been playing without those hit points because we wanted to do them live. We still have to do it with Doll, and
Okay.
all the NPCs have been done.
Yeah, we haven't done Evening Car yet either, I don't think.
Yeah, even the car will need to do this too. Do you want to do it right now?
No.
No? Okay.
I want to focus on Ren.
Okay.
She got 4 hit points.
All right.
I rolled a 10.
10.
A 10 on a D10, and I rolled.
Oh, it's Seth? Yeah.
Like, holy cow.
I rolled a 2 on my 6-sider, and I was like, oh, I'm going to re-roll that, you know, or 1 re-roll, and I fucking rolled a 2 again.
Huh?
I know. I was like, really?
The outfit is up tight around his neck. Like it looks like one flap goes over the other, and then it has like a little collar that goes up. And he salutes you like military kind of with a big smile, and then he stops saluting and he goes, Ambassadors, it is an honor to have you aboard. Welcome to the Sub Rosa.
Thank you.
I would apologize for your entry room, but it's necessary for you to understand part of the reason that you've been called here, Ambassador. He looks at Ren. But I will allow that to be spoken by those that know more about it than I am. I am Commander Tazar, he says. Yeah, T-Z-A-R-R, Tazar. There's an apostrophe between the T and the Z. I am Commander Tazar. If you will please come with me, I will take you to Lord Hightower, he says.
She'll nod.
Okay.
Follow him.
He walks over here through this door that's right behind him, and then comes and takes a turn and goes through this door. And these doors, when you walk up to them, they're magical, and they go, they slide open. And you see arcane magic in the cracks as they do so. And as you're looking around the place, there's mechanical devices and lights and weird tubes, and this is unlike anything you've ever seen before. He takes you through these second sliding doors, and you go up onto the next level. You come out a door there and turn a corner, and you see him here, and he is sitting in this chair. He stands when you walk in. This room that you walk into has a huge table with some kind of arcane magic floating in the center of it, just kind of in a weird blob-like shape. You look beyond it and you see windows, and out the windows are stars. Like, you realize, Seth, it really kind of churns your stomach just a little bit. You realize you're on a ship, but it's in space. You're in space. You're...
Stop looking out the window.
Okay. Excuse me. And then you see the sliding doors all around the other. It's only him. Next to him, he has an ashtray, and he has some cigars. When you walk up, he stands up and smiles at you, and he says, Ambassador, thank you so much for coming. And he walks right up to you and holds his hand out like this. He'll bring your hand towards his hand. He doesn't actually kiss it, though. His mouth is probably a good 3 or 4 inches away. He does that and then hands it back to you, hands your hand back to you, and smiles at you with his blue eyes. And he says, I am glad to finally meet you. Will you please have a seat?
Thank you.
And you have brought someone with you, your entourage. And he turns and looks at Seth and at Zen.
So this is Zen, and this is my guardian.
When you say Zen, he doesn't let you say guardian yet. He's like, oh, it is a pleasure to meet you, Ambassador. I'm glad to see that there are 2 ambassadors from the Companions Guild in the same location. We are greatly honored here on the Sub Rosa.
And this is my guardian. What's the name he uses?
Blackfeather.
Blackfeather.
Pleasure to meet you. If you would like to check out the security aboard the vessel, feel free. Or you may stay here. It is up to you. Zen goes over here and sits down at this table and smiles, and she says, I'm going to leave you 2 at it and kind of take a look at what the heck this is. And she goes over and sits down, and she's amazed. She's like looking like, wow,
Yeah. I'll sit down.
All right. You sit down?
Mm-hmm.
Seth, what do you do?
Go stand over by this wall out of the way.
Over here?
Down right here.
Down
On the
here?
right, this right wall. Go down just a little bit. And right there.
Okay.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like that.
All right.
Yeah, that's perfect. That way he can seem like he's out of earshot, but he can still watch, make sure everything's okay. And
Okay, yeah, you've got to. So,
he's got his hands crossed in front of him, and
right in front of you, or right to the right of you, is some kind of machine that you've never seen, and it's glowing with arcane magic. There's a fan that's blowing out of it, like you feel air coming out of it. You're like, look at, you're not sure what the hell it is. You've never seen anything like it. And you turn it, and there's a window here, and you're like,
not gonna look out.
Nope.
I'll just look.
Okay, and you look forward. He sits down, he says, cigar or wine or something like that, or I figured you would be more apt to do a tea ceremony. I have heard that.
Absolutely.
I would be honored.
She'll start to pull out her stuff.
Okay, she pulls out her tea ceremony
She
set.
will. It's the one with the really old one with the silver and platinum and the gold put back together. And do you know which one I'm talking about? That she got from the magic shop.
He looks at it and
She'll start setting up the tea ceremony.
he seems to be very intent on what you're doing. Like he's watching you very closely.
She'll set it up.
All right. Make.
So the tea set, correct me if I'm wrong, it doubles your proficiency,
Yeah.
correct? So she's times 4.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, she fucking nails it, which means she
can't-
can't be
You
surprised.
can't be surprised at this point. You're quite aware of your surroundings and everything around you. I'm sure you're wondering why I requested you for diplomatic reasons and companionship. It should be one or the other. I know that seems to be odd. This is one of my ships, one of 2 that have been recently created by some very gifted arcane engineers.
It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it.
It's a secret. Hush hush. Something that cannot be spoken of or should not be spoken of. This is why we named it the Sub Rosa. There's a lot happening that I don't know if you know about in space.
I'm afraid that my knowledge outside of Shell is pretty limited.
I would like to hire you. I would like you to be the captain of this vessel. Out of the 2 ships that have been created, one of them met a fateful end. There are perhaps some survivors, but we don't know for sure. We know where they last were.
She has like a real compassionate look on her face.
Up to this
you know?
point, our job has been solely and strictly mercantile. As of late, I came to an understanding through the goddess of love and beauty that my life had been squandered. That I have not sought the things that are important. Unfortunately, once I came to this conclusion, I also came to the awareness and understanding of the great and pitiful destruction that awaits this world from space. Coming, being called by something from the lower planes. The being that rules the hells. he is in league with them, meaning that they are against us with him, which is an odd thing considering this race of beings that we're dealing with.
They, who is it? Who do
So,
you speak of?
I should show you around. I shouldn't just bring you here and give you all of this doom and despair first thing. It's important for our communication to be open, and I also want to express other things to you that I feel are for a more private nature. But for the meantime, I think you should be aware of where you're at and aware of if you do take this vessel over, I will not be here. It will be your duty. It is mostly manned in key positions, but requires extra crew and those willing to seek out the truth and understanding of what is taking place in space. What I want has changed. That is why there's 2 requests. Your diplomacy is needed in the fashion of aggressive negotiations.
She kind of laughs when he says that.
These creatures, these beings cannot be reasoned with in any way, as far as we know. We'll tell you more of them. At that point, and you see this arcane thing over here in the middle, kind of waver a little bit, and you see Zingo. She puts her hand down, and he looks over at her like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? And she's like, "Sorry, I was just checking this thing out." And he says, "You'll have complete access to everything that is on that once you make your decision. But for the time being, it is not available to you." And he looks at Zen. He says, "I'm sorry, Ambassador. It's for security reasons." Zen goes, "Oh, she'd be an idiot not to take the position. Of course she's going to take it. This is just a bunch of hoopla." And he kind of looks over at her like, and then looks at you like,
She'll smile at him, like, trying to stay, you know what I mean?
She goes, "I said that out loud, didn't I?
She'll smile.
I'm so sorry, Ren. I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah. Do you have a restroom?" She looks up and he's like, yeah. And he kind of giggles a little bit and looks real nervous at this point. He's like, I would like to give you a tour of the ship.
Okay.
If you would.
I would love that. She'll
stands
pick
over.
up her tea stuff.
He gives you his arm. You pick up your tea stuff, and he gives you his arm and
she'll take it.
starts to escort you. Seth, do you go with him?
He looks at her for confirmation.
She'll telepathy him and say yes. Stay about 20 feet behind us.
That he'll do.
Okay.
Fucking Zen.
First place he goes is into this room over here.
Okay.
When the doors open and you walk in with her, the doors close. Seth's still in the other room. If you're 20 feet behind, the door closes.
I'll walk up to the door.
Okay. All right. There's a woman in there when you come into this, when the doors open up and you come in with him, there is a woman in here dressed in the same kind of uniform as you walk right up to the door, Seth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She'll stay level with Hightower, like in her walking, like next to him.
Okay. It opens, Seth. When you go up to it, it opens automatically. And you see her too with Hightower and Rin. And she's actually over here when you come in, and she walks towards you. And he goes, "Dr. Risa, please, let me introduce you to my new friend here, and hopefully your new captain. And she smiles real big when she sees you. She goes, a woman? And he goes, yeah. And she's like, that is wonderful. And she just comes right over to you. She goes, hello, I'm Dr. Risa.
Yes.
She shakes your hand.
It's so nice to meet you.
And this is her. Seth, you're still standing at the door. And as you stood there and you heard all that, the door goes.
I'll stand just inside to the left.
Okay.
That little alcove or
Right here?
Right here.
Okay. You come in and
She'll
stand there.
introduce herself. She'll say,
Okay.
Ambassador Renara.
Ah, your companion.
Yes.
She turns and looks at you. She goes, you are full of surprises today. Well, if there is anything that I can do for you, just let me know.
Thank you.
I would be happy to assist you in any way possible.
It's a smile at
She
her.
smiles at you. You think she might be hitting on you.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's yeah.
He looks uncomfortable with that, and he's like, so yes, this is the med bay. This is the infirmary. He says this is where we use arcane magics and technologies to heal and various other things and lab science stuff. And he looks at her and she goes, yes, science stuff. We do science stuff in here. Anytime you want to come by, just hop on in.
Okay.
He goes, yeah, so and Seth, you're standing there, you're watching them, and as you're watching them, you kind of look around the room, you see a couple bunks, and you look through and over here, and you see another window, and you see stars, and you're like, oh.
I'm looking at her feet
shit.
now.
Okay, now you like, roll an observation, halved at a -2.
Yes.
You notice Seth's there's something going on. You're not sure what it is. He seems uncomfortable. That's all I can tell you. You're not sure what it is. But you would be looking towards him in case something is wrong, so
Yeah.
he does seem to be uncomfortable. Sojourn finishes telling you about all the stuff in here. He doesn't tell you about all. He just goes, and here's a machine, and this is another one created by the arcane engineers.
Does she look around? Does she recognize anything? Does she have any idea what any of this stuff is?
This shower over here, you've seen a shower before.
That's it.
That's it. Over here in the corner, you see what looks like a crate of some sort, but you do see some pipes coming out of it, and you're like, that doesn't look normal. Yeah, no, you don't. When you look over here, you see bandages, and you recognize bandages, and things like that. When you look at the medical stuff, like on the tables and stuff, you don't recognize any of it. Like none of it. You've never seen it. Never seen it before.
Oh boy.
There's 2 tubes right here as you're talking to her, right behind her. They look like somebody would lay in.
Okay.
You're not sure why or for what reason. The sink. You realize you've seen a sink before. So
That's ridiculous. She probably is.
trash can. You see a trash can. So there's very little that you've seen before. Seth, you too. You guys both feel like Alice down the rabbit hole. You've never seen any of this kind of stuff.
This would be Kara's place.
Right. So yeah, you guys walk all around and everything, and then come back, and she says, "It was such a pleasure to meet you, Renara."
It was such a pleasure.
Ambassador Renara. And he smiles. He says, "Thanks, Reese." And he pats her on her shoulder, and you can tell they're like buddies, like 2 men would be. It's the same. So you're for sure she's
gay.
Gay. You're sure of it.
Okay.
As you come walking out, you go out the door. They go out the door. Seth.
He'll follow behind.
Okay.
At a distance.
And the door closed, by the way, as they were talking. The door did close again and stayed closed until they walked up to it. When it opens and they go out, you turn to go out. She's looking at you and she nods. And she just kind of goes, and you're like, what? And you come out. He takes you across the hall, and this door slides open. The whole time, Ren is still sitting here. Zen is still sitting here. This door opens and you come into what looks like a kitchen. And you know it's a kitchen to me. There's food, there's, you can tell this.
Right.
And he says, this is the mess hall. He says, this is where we eat. All the food you would ever need or want is provided. It is through magic.
Okay.
You might want to later get a real cook, and I don't know, that's up to you, If you know anyone or anybody that, you want to bring on board that. Yeah. By the way, if there's any crew that you don't want and you don't want to work with, just let me know. And we'll figure it out. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
And anyone you want to add, that's up to you as well. So as you walk through here, you come out this door down here at the bottom, and he takes you over here to this staircase right here, and you guys start going up that staircase.
Okay.
All right. As you guys come up the staircase, you come into a hallway, and to your right and left there are doors, that sliding doors. These are the bedrooms, and he tells you that there are 4 open. These 4 right here is all that are open currently with the crew that's on board.
Okay.
He says we may have to figure that out if you end up having more than 4 people. Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll figure something out. We can maybe put 2 beds in, or you can share beds maybe. I don't know if that's possible, but it would hold up to 8 people if you shared. So it's up on you guys to figure it out. Some of our people, like Commander Sar, he sleeps down in engineering, or down in the med bay, or down in the cargo bay. Sorry. The engineer, he sleeps down in engineering. They don't sleep. So it's myself currently, who sleeps in one of these bunks. So actually there will be 5 open.
Okay.
Which would 10 people if we double them up. I won't be here. And this whole time he's walking past, he will go and open this door right here just to show it to you. It has a bathroom attached to it, with beds and showers and a chest and all that stuff, all the amenities. It's not huge, but it's not tiny.
Does it look like his room when he opens it?
Yes.
Anything to notice? As he's walking through, she's just looking around. Anything to notice that would
Looks
be
like
of interest?
it looks unused.
Okay.
And then you come to another staircase, and at the top of this staircase is a heavy bound door. Like when you walk up to it, it's locked and made of this solid metal. He clinks on it a couple times. A green light goes off, and he grabs a handle and opens it, and you guys come onto the bridge, what he calls the bridge. And you come out this doorway right here. Immediately, these 2 stand up and salute. And he salutes them back, and he introduces Bilboff, Lieutenant Bilboff here, and he says, this is our navigator, and it's a little halfling. He's bright-eyed, relatively young. That's him on the left right there. And then on the right, he introduces Vice Admiral Xavier. He says she will be your number 1, your next in command. She knows the ship. She knows everything about it. She just looks at you, nods like that, and salutes. Very prim and proper and
military.
Very military. And she's like, ma'am.
Smile at her.
The halfling kind of looks at her. He's like, ambassador. And she's like, ambassador. You see her cheeks start to turn really red, and he's like, lieutenant.
She just keeps a huge smile on her face, real sweet. You feel me?
Right.
Like she doesn't.
He says, anyway, this is the bridge. This is where the helms are located.
She'll look forward. Can she see out of the front?
You
here?
can. When you look out the front, you're looking out right here.
She'll walk up and she'll just look out.
Okay.
You feel me? Like, I'm sure she's like a little...
Like, it's space in every direction. You're just like... You turn and to the right. When you go to the right, you see Ashen Tail, the planet. It's a circle, and you're like,
She's gonna try to hide her shock
okay.
through her companion training.
Seth, when you come down the hallway and come up to this door, do you come into this room?
And
or
off to the side, but
Okay.
I'm looking at people's feet.
Okay. Yeah, when you come in here, you can tell right away there's windows surrounding almost
his-
in 180 degrees.
Head just goes straight
Okay.
down. He's just looking at people's feet.
You're mesmerized. When you look out the window, you're like, it's the most beautiful thing you've
Yeah, I was gonna
ever
say,
seen.
she'll probably say that out loud, but I think that is the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen.
I know how that feels. That happened to me today.
She'll look at him, smile.
He smiles at her. And then over here, and he walks over and he shows you a ladder.
Okay.
This ladder goes down to the SS Eros. It is a short space vessel. It does not traverse as far as this is for entering the planet, planet side stuff.
I've seen those before. We have those in Queensland, here and
yes.
there.
Yes, this ship can be launched from this location. It's a single person ship. You know, other people could jam themselves in there. There could be a few that could be jammed in there, but there's plenty of cargo space on it, and it's usually used for a single pilot. Of course, these devices, the reason that they were created is space jamming was something for spellcasters only.
Mm-hmm.
This vessel is not so. This vessel can be used and piloted by anyone. Arcane magic, arcane engineers creating helms and the abilities to. There's so much to it.
Like
There's-
spell storing devices.
Yeah. It's pretty complicated. Not that you would not understand it, but I would rather spend our time talking about other things that are more important. But you'll be able to learn about all of this. Downstairs in the meeting room where we were, you'll be able to access that Arcanite stone, that evolved Arcanite stone that is in the middle of the table, and it will speak with you out loud. You can ask it questions. Once you've been given command of the ship, you'll be able to access it. And others of your crew, of course. So yeah, let's continue, and he takes you back.
She'll go with them.
He takes you back. Oh, he also shows you another ladder to go the other way instead of down to go up. Goes up to the turret,
Okay.
which is directly above us, one of our turrets on the ship. From the outside, this is the Sub Rosa.
Oh my god.
You guys are inside here right now, and came down the hallway and went up a couple levels with this main area right here already. So that's kind of where you've gone. He continues, he takes you down to the cargo hold, shows you where all the cargo's held. These are airlocks. He shows you the areas where things go out and where things come in. And
Okay.
it's important not to get those things mixed up by the way that the magics are and things of that nature. But he tells you Commander Tazar is familiar with all of this, with this whole level, and he's very good at it. His office is in here. Then he comes over and he says, you always go to engineering through this door. You never go to engineering through the other door unless it's some sort of emergency and you're going to need to notify the Arcanite Stone. Simply put, it's a security measure. Those that would enter engineering under false pretenses or trying to hide or do something that don't belong down there might use that other door, which would
Okay.
invoke protections immediately.
Oh,
Not that
that's
this side
smart.
wouldn't as well, but yes.
Okay.
Anyway, he walks up to it and he says, Rosa, out loud like that. He says, allow these two access. one time behind me. And you hear, "Very well, Hightower. Access granted." And it's in some kind of voice coming from the wall. You guys go through it. It says caution on the floor. You go down these steps and you enter into engineering, which has 6 devices that have tube-like structures in them that have energy flowing from them from divinity stones. You see crates of divinity stones. And these divinity stones look like they've been enlarged. They're bigger than normal. And they seem to be what's powering this vessel are those, you believe. And you come in and come to the right, and he introduces the engineer. He says, "This is Engineer Penitent. Penitent, perhaps your new captain. We do not know quite yet, but it seems that might be the case." And he smiles at you again, and Penitent comes over to you. He's a Drac, like Gavor.
Yeah.
But he does not have a draconic head. His half-orc side seems to be coming out more, but you do notice some copper scales at his hairline and on his cheek and over on his jawline a little bit. He has piercings, one on his nose. He has piercings all over his body. And he smiles at you guys. He's like, "Hey,
Smile.
well, welcome aboard, Cap." He's pretty short too. He's about 5'2". He's like, "Welcome aboard, Cap." He's like, we got everything controlled down here in engineering. Always. Yeah. So over here, and he starts giving you a tour. He shows you the suits.
Okay.
He tells you these suits have been built to help in case there's some sort of emergency. If there's arcanite poisoning in engineering, he says, you'll need to be wearing these suits. Worst case scenario, it blows up and we never have to wear them at all. But anyway, he smiles and walks over here, and he's like, "Over here are some munitions and then some vests and armor and things of that nature. They've been created by the arcane engineers. These fire divinity stones are the ammunition for them. They fire, they're energy weapons, basically. We can set up targets later. You guys can try them out. They're a blast. They're so much fun." And then he comes over and keeps walking, and he's showing helmets, and he shows
She'll look
energy
at him
weapon.
as she walks by the energy weapons.
All right.
She will. She'll look at him as she's walking by as he's showing her.
All right, they all have divinity stone as a power source. You can tell by looking at them. They're glowing yellow in a certain spot. They have triggers, and they look like what you've heard energy weapons look like. And she's looking for one for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you see some right in front of you right now.
So that may not be necessary.
May not be necessary. He walks over, picks up a clipboard, comes over, he puts a cigarette out that's in the ashtray. He's like, "Sorry, Captain, Ambassador." Grabs his cup of coffee, finishes it real quick, and walks over to the clipboard. He goes, "So here's the stats. Everything's running good." And he starts talking math to her, blurting it off in a fashion that you probably won't understand.
She's really smart, but she doesn't have any kind of mathematician, anything like that.
No mathematics.
She has a 17 intelligence. Like, she's not a super genius, but she was pretty smart.
Roll under your intelligence.
Yes. Holy shit. 6 under 17.
You understand the general premise that these stones make this ship, give this ship power to move.
Okay.
And that the tubes that the stones go into, they fire energy in whatever direction the ship needs to go in. If it needs to go down, they fire it up. If it needs to go up, they fire it down.
Okay.
It basically is a propulsion system with energy. You also know, as he's talking to you, that the ship doesn't need it. It can move on the helm's power alone.
Okay.
But this gives it more speed.
Okay. So she would
and
say
more
that,
maneuverability.
so it gives it more speed and maneuverability, just to like let him know that she.
Yeah,
understands what he's
yeah.
talking
He's like,
about.
yeah. You know, there's some stuff as he's saying to you
That she doesn't.
that you're missing.
Okay.
So yeah. He goes, when we get the scanners in here, I'll have a lot better opportunity to categorize everything that's taking place inside of the tubes. I'll be able to let you know more. But right now, I'd say about 1,000 Arcanauts per cubic square foot inside of each of the tubes.
Does she know what that means?
No.
No fucking clue. She just smile and nod.
So, we're pushing out around 30 or so or more. We can do 60, but 30 is where we're kind of pushing right now. 1,000. That's fast. He says we can go really fast.
She kind of giggle.
He smiles. And so yeah, he finishes your tour,
Okay.
and Hightower smiles, and he tells him, "Thank you."
She'll say it.
He calls him Commander too,
Okay.
as well.
Pentinent?
Pentinent.
She'll say thank you, Commander Pentinent.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is what you need Kara for.
Yeah. And when you go out, it's
No,
just,
as she's walking around the ship, she's realizing the different areas that all of her friends would want to be in. You feel me?
as you walk out, you go out the other door, like you
Okay.
said, and you come back into this room over here, the
Okay.
opposite side you hadn't been in yet. Then he comes and he takes you down this staircase into the next level, and he tells you, down here is the brig. This is
Okay.
where you'll keep bad guys or people that
Right.
harm themselves or whatever, All of these are containment units, he says, and he goes through and shows you how to work the containment units. All run on arcane energy, he tells you, and arcanite stones, everything here. And then he tells you Penitent was the highest in his expertise at the Inventors Guild Hall within Monarch. He's the one that made most of this.
Wow.
So if you have any questions about the ship, he's the one to ask for sure. And that's it. He pretty much shows you the whole ship. The Sub Rosa, he calls it. And we're going to take a quick break right there now that you've got a rundown of what the ship
Give me a
looks
second
like.
to process all
You guys
of
are
that.
going to stop in the waiting room here, or the meeting room here,
Okay.
where Zen is still at. When you guys come walking in, Zen is not in there when you come walking in. She's out of the room.
Of course.
And,
Zen already knows she's gonna accept. She's like, whatever.
it's like, whatever.
This place
She's
is
gonna-
ours. Shut up.
bunch of bullshit. So anyway, we will be right back in a moment. we're back.
Freaking shit.
On a ship.
It's so fucking cool.
Yeah. Glad you're happy.
When you come back, she's not in there. Zin's not in there, but she comes walking out from the doctor's area with a big smile on her face, and comes over and sits down in the same chair. She doesn't even look at you. She's just got a smirk, and she's ear to ear grin, and she goes over and sits down. He comes and sits here, and then offers you a seat. Okay, Seth, you go to the same spot.
Yep.
So, to move from the information I've just given you, I'm sure you're wondering who you work for. And that would be Elis.
She gets this look on her face like, of course, but then she like quickly, you feel me?
He and I are business partners.
Okay.
I am a member of the Holy Hosts, as I know you are.
Yes.
They're called Necrothians. Other names have come in and out. Corpse collectors, corpse eaters, genetic mutators. They have several names depending on where they have been encountered, what the people in those areas have called them. They are, as far as we know, a collective consciousness attached to something known as the Necro-Arch, a being that we know very little about. I can tell you that it is not here within this crystalline sphere. So at least there is not that word, though these are his minions.
And they're here?
They are. Brought by the being they call the Big A, and various other names as well. I'm sure you know who I speak of.
Of course.
There are beings within this collective that do various things. They have ships. The reason we have the ships that we have now currently is partially because of them. Reverse engineering through arcane engineering has enabled us to develop the Sub Rosa.
So they're incredibly advanced. At least compared
Something
to...
is. Their minions, though intelligent, are more combat orientated, collectors of genetic material. They are ran by leaders known as Void Reapers. This is what we have called them. And then they command the Harbingers of Decay. Their ability to decipher genetic material from beings is of utmost importance to them. The genetic conquest that they are attempting to succeed at in multi-crystalline spheres is done by gathering genetic material from various places. This material is sometimes seen again, meaning that there are bodies of individuals that have been captured that have been used against us. Some would say that they're similar to zombies or undead, but they are so much more than that.
Do you know what their purpose is?
They gather genetic material and destroy as many worlds or control as many worlds as possible. That is their goal. Why he would make a deal with them, I'm not quite sure. These are things left for priests and those that look into these sort of things. My job is strictly, well, impossible. Once you find out the numbers that I speak of, you will understand where we are sitting. We have one ship. They have hundreds. They have the ability to siphon genetic material with weapons and from their very hands. From any living organism. Some of it is through physical contact and others is from distance. It drains the very essence of beings, leaving them weakened and quite often lifeless.
Similar to negative material.
Similar, yes, but not the same. They have abilities of necrotic infusion, where this dark ability infuses living beings with some sort of necrotic energy. Similar to Umbra, but not the same thing. Causes their cells to break down and release genetic mutations within the individuals, creating more soldiers. And if they are not strong enough to survive the genetic release and the destruction, then they simply will collect the genetic material from them and use it for something else. It's very agonizing for the victims, I can tell you that. It slowly consumes them, but from within. What we know is that they can alter the genetic code of living organisms. They can change it, make you into something else, something that is part of them. They do this to extract desired traits from beings and creatures that they meet, and races and ancestries of other beings. They induce these mutations in them that serves the Crothian agenda. Some of these abilities come from what is known as psychic abilities, mind mage type powers. Mind mages have seemed to be very useful against some of them. We have had a few clashes. They have the ability to produce and create parasitic organisms that are unseen. It gives them the ability to consume and trap life forces and essences of their victims without the victims even knowing it was taking place. We know that there are dark rituals involved with psychic manipulations and traps that devour the very spirit and souls of beings themselves. It is not just the genetic material that they're coming against. It's much deeper than that as well. These weapons they carry and the abilities that come from their genetic soldiers are very difficult to battle. Their ships are run by some sort of material that is akin to a genetic living organism. Often they take materials from other ships in other crystalline spheres and reconstitute them and place them together again. Often you will see some of their ships with various colors and types of vessel accoutrements upon them. It's not as if they have their own form of a fleet or colors. These beings can mostly be discovered through their voracious appetite for genetic material. They do not parley. They do not discuss. They do not run. They come for you the moment you see them, and they will be relentless until they find you or they are destroyed. Especially if you're a unique individual, someone that has genetic material that they have not seen before. Those sort of things become beacons and a trait that they attach themselves to some sort of way, as if they always know where that new genetic material is located, what direction it is from you, and they will follow until they find it. This crystalline sphere has genetic material in it that they have never seen before. And that is the reason why they will never leave unless we destroy each and every one of them. This mandate that I have offered you is of the greatest importance to all existence within this crystalline sphere. All else pales in its comparison. I am taking everything I own, everything within my power and might and knowledge and wealth, to fight this. I give you that as a true vow. I am behind you with whatever it is you must deal with, and there is no limitations that will be given to help you succeed in your mission. There are times when they strike and then move away. It is these times that they usually are waiting for others to retrieve genetic material. By going in and getting our dead, we are targeted.
I see.
The Hope was the first ship. It is down, mostly destroyed. What is left of it is on a rock. A rock located not far from our current location. On this rock is a lab. I spoke of I spoke of reverse engineering.
Yes.
This is one of those locations where it was being done. There are 15 individuals there. Close by that lab is where the ship crashed. We believe there are survivors. The Necrothians backed away, so it is most assuredly a trap. But they do not know that we have the Sub Rosa. With the right team and the right plan, if done quickly, we could perhaps save some lives, and in turn maybe gain some more information about our enemy. On a side note, I would be piloting this vessel as its captain if it was not for you. I wish to build a friendship between you and I, and that would be unprofessional if I was your captain.
So smart.
I am listening to my prayers, and they say that friendship is important. So we will start there. Never had time for this sort of thing. I believe that love is the answer. That is what she has said. I'm not sure who you hold allegiance to, but it does not matter. As far as gods and goddesses go, they are bound, all of them, by energies, spheres that they control.
She'll smile at him. She'll say it every day. I live at the Temple of Love and Beauty in Queensland.
Well, I hope that you live there no longer. Will you take her over?
I will accept both of your requests.
Wonderful. I look forward to getting to know you better, and hopefully we will have time for that, because what is in front of you and ahead of you may not allow that, or much of it. You hear Zen say, "Does that mean I get to go pick my room now?"
She'll giggle. She'll break the tension and giggle.
You did hear Seth go,
Oh yeah.
She's a good the sigh.
Yeah, he smiles at you, and he hands you a bag. He's like, "Your commission, Captain."
She'll take it.
he's going to telepathy her.
Okay.
How are these things killed?
Hold on. I'll ask. I'll ask.
Rosa, and he points towards the table. Like,
She'll
Rosa.
kind of turn in the chair more towards this way and look.
And it kind of lights up when he says her name. Commission has been transferred to Rin. She is now the captain of this vessel. You will serve her, and all that she commands you to do, you will follow through with. Very well. Command shifted. Welcome, Rin.
Thank you.
Any questions that you might have for me, Captain, I can address and instantly answer here at this terminal. Or your private terminal. He kind of looks over and he's like, "Oh yeah, you can specify a specific terminal that you want to use specifically. None of us have done that."
Okay. So, one more question.
I just have to state that Rosa is conscious. She is a being.
That's what I've heard.
I don't know how much you know about evolved Arcanite stones, but this particular one is more than it seems. The individual that evolved it basically was absorbed by it. And now works here.
My head just exploded.
She has a mind of her own, but she will follow through with her mandates. Again, I don't want to push the limit with this, but this is all a secret and must be kept so.
Of course.
Please do not take this vessel down onto Shill. It would be very detrimental if it came in the wrong hands. It could change so very much.
Yeah.
Right now, no one knows of it. It is actually completely and utterly non-detected. The ship cannot be seen. It can also become invisible. The arcane magics that were placed upon this were of the arcane engineer sort. It has shields in certain places. There are things about it that I'm sure that you will learn, but they don't always continue to work. This sort of magic affects things in a specific way. Penitent can explain most of this to you. Most anything that is struck once is safe.
Okay.
Multiple times in the same area can cause more damage. Take care of her and yourself. And he stands up.
She'll stand.
He looks over at the cigars laying on the table and he's like, I'm going to leave those for you. And he nods at you. Until we meet again.
She'll give him her hand.
This time he kisses your hand. He actually touches his lips to your hand. Smiles at you. Turns and walks out. I think, where the fuck's he going? And he goes to the staircase. Zin's like,
She'll turn
your
around
doctor's,
with her jaw
Zin
open.
goes, your doctor's sleeping. She tried to kiss me.
Whoops.
You guys.
Zin's like, sweetheart, you are the luckiest person I've ever met.
It would seem so. You guys, did you know when I got... Never mind. Never mind. What? Can you believe where we're at?
She gets up and walks over past the table and goes to the windows and starts looking out. She's like, oh
She'll go with
my
her.
God.
Seth, come look at this. This is so beautiful.
Mm-mm.
Don't tell me you're scared.
He's not scared. You're not scared. You're not scared
We're
of
on a
anything.
ship. I don't like ships.
It's not like we're on a ship in the water.
It's still a ship.
Well, looks like this is our new home.
Mm.
We'll take care of you. Don't worry. Zin says and smiles at you. She's like, it's beautiful. Did you see a little ship that looks like the one that he called the SS Eros shoot off in the distance from underneath your ship?
If this thing can't land, how do we get off of it?
I'm sure probably the same way we got on it. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Oh, we can transport out of here, no problem.
Oh
But
my
why would you?
goodness.
Let's go look around.
Okay,
She goes over and grabs your hand and starts hopping, looking
come
around.
on, Seth.
Yeah, as long as he stays away from the window.
Okay.
So, I met all the crew. I can introduce you guys.
Well, your doctor's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe she
I
did
met her.
that.
I met her. She's a wild one, that one.
She is.
Yeah.
Well, I bet she won't do that again.
Well, I laid her down real nice.
On the floor or on a bed?
On the floor.
Okay.
I didn't want to, like, yeah. Should I have picked her up and put her on the bed?
No,
The
I'm sure
beds
it's
look like, I don't know, they look like people have bled on them.
Oh,
and,
ew.
like one of them had blood on it,
Oh, no.
which makes me think something happened soon.
Yeah, that means something just happened.
Should have asked her.
We need to do that. Well, let's go look around and I'll introduce you to.
So
everybody
hey, you
there.
have access to this. What is this again? He says it's an arcanite
It's an
stone that's
arcanite.
evolved.
Yeah, he said that somebody.
Hold
was
on a sec.
Somebody was absorbed by it. It's a fully evolved arcanite stone.
Rosa, she says, and it kind of gets brighter blue, but it doesn't do anything.
Rosa,
Yes, Captain.
answer any questions that Zen might have.
Very well, Captain. Thanks. Rosa. Yes, then. Was there recently combat on this ship? No. Was there recently wounded on this ship? Yes. Did they live? No. The doctor was unable to cure them of their affliction, and they were placed out the second airlock. It was a viral pathogen. Something from the Necrothian race.
Rosa,
Yes.
how are the Necrothians killed?
It is unknown how Necroarch is killed, but other Necrothians can be killed simply by damage, just like any genetic material. Energy weapons work on them. Magic works on them. Blades, swords, axes, clubs. They seem to be immune to such things as poison and fire. Something about their genetic makeup. Do you have any other questions then? Is this as weird for you as it is for me? Yes. Oh, well, see, we have something in common. At least there's that. That kind of creeps me out. She looks at you like, kind of creeps me out a little bit.
I think it's interesting. I don't quite know what to make of it.
It? He called it a her. It has a name. It's Rosa, right? Rosa's your name? She's like, yes, my name is Rosa.
Maybe the being that it absorbed was a female? That's probably why.
Did you absorb a female? Yes, her name was Rosa, magic user, first class from the city of Monarch, part of the university and the academy. I am thankful. She freed me.
Freed you from what?
From the cloud, the fog. She was able to put enough of my consciousness together that I was able to absorb her and become a true being again. We are one and the same, her and I. Though she took her life not shortly after. Suffered for some time. I am thankful.
Thank you, Rosa.
You're welcome.
Turn and look at Seth and Zone. You guys want to go meet the crew?
Yeah. She kind of walks away from the table.
So she'll go up to the bridge.
Okay.
First.
All right. You make your way up to the bridge. And sitting at the two spots when you walk up are the two that were up there before.
Mm-hmm.
The cockpit, when you come up here this time, they're active. The two helms are active. And they're sitting at them and they look over their shoulder at you. And they're slow, the ship's slowly moving and you didn't feel it shift or move.
Oh, interesting.
She looks over her shoulder. She's like, Captain. And there's a chair open in the middle, so. But Sin's with you.
Xavier? Is that how you said it?
Xavier.
Xavier. She'll say, this is Sun and Seth. This is Bilboff, Commander Bilboff. Wait, Lieutenant Bilboff. And Vice Admiral Xavier.
Sin says, it's a pleasure to meet you both. And Bilboff goes, Commander. Lieutenant. Yeah, Lieutenant. It's nice to meet you. She's like, anything I can do, Captain?
No, we're just looking around the ship.
I'm sure you have so many questions, and I'm here to help, whatever it is you need
So
to know.
many, but I don't even know where to start. I'm sure that once I have a minute to process all of this,
I will be able to do that. There will be more crew coming.
Yes, I'm heading to a location that perhaps would be easier for us to get them on board.
Okay.
You're looking out the window and you can see that she's going down. You can start to see flames going up the side of the ship.
She'll tell her, I was told by Lord Hightower not to take the ship onto the planet.
Of course he said that. Well, that will make things much more difficult. She reaches up and she hits it and the ship becomes invisible, but she raises back up into space. Like, I suppose you have the means to retrieve your crew?
Yes.
Very well. Shall we all stop?
What do you mean?
Should we stop the ship or should we continue to head towards a destination of some sort? Do you have a heading or?
We can just wait.
Very well.
It'll be a little while.
You see her grab the helm and you see the ship slow down and come to a stop. Awaiting your orders, Captain, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
If you require any assistance on retrieving your crew, just let us know.
Thank you.
Of course.
She'll smile at them both. She'll say,
Okay.
Zen will follow you. You go down the hallway where the bedrooms are.
She'll say, this is the bedrooms. These.
So this one, and this one are taken. Or no, this one, and this one are taken. This one's open, and these three are open, and these two on the top right.
So these 5 are open, but these 3 are taken. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that. Unless some of us want to share rooms.
Zen goes over to this room right here at the end, and she opens the door, goes to the door, and goes in.
Guess that one's hers.
She comes back out. She goes, "It's really nice."
It is.
Walks over across the hall, looks at the other one. She's like, "They look identical."
Do they?
These rooms are bigger though. These two down here look like they're bigger.
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
She goes, "Are we gonna bunk together?"
I don't see why not. I mean, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
And then there's the engineer down below.
Oh, you want to go meet him?
Penitent? Well, I want everybody to know who you guys are, and we'll have to do this with the rest of the crew,
Of course.
with the rest of the party, but...
She goes, "Are you gonna introduce me to that giant?"
I know as much about him as you do. What, you like him?
No. Well, I like everybody. I try to be nice to everybody. You know that.
Let's go meet Penitent.
Okay. You go down and then head to the engineering.
Yeah.
And you guys walk in. Do you go down the left step? Of
Yeah,
course.
she'll tell him, this is what he
Okay.
told me. We go in on this side and go out on the other side. Right? That was what he said?
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever go in this door over here, because magical protections and security will go off if you do.
Always go out.
She'll stop at the door
That
and
door.
say, Rosa,
Yes, Captain.
Allow Zen and Seth free access in and out of this door.
Very well, Captain. And yourself?
yes.
Would you like me to allow access to everything for you?
Please?
Done.
Thank you.
Okay, you walk through the field.
She'll do that for everybody eventually.
Yeah. Right now, you, Seth, and Zen have access to engineering. You come down, Penitent's down there. When you come down the steps, you hear like a clattering, and you come around the corner and you see what looks like a little turtle moving around engineering.
She'll go quietly.
Okay.
They're all rogue types here, so she'll go quietly.
Okay.
She'll see if she can see what's going on.
He's got some kind of halter where he's pulling carts that have stones and things in them with this halter that attaches to his scales. As he's doing it, you realize it's Penitent. He's in his dragon form. And it's this small little turtle shell looking dragon, cute as a button, and really quick. and close to the ground, and he's moving things. When he sees you, he changes back into himself. He's like, Captain.
Hello. I just wanted to introduce you. This is Anathia and Seth.
Nice to meet you guys.
This is Commander Penitent.
Yep. Engineer. Just call me Pent if you want. I got a lot of pent-up frustration, you know, so people call me Pent sometimes. Zin kind of raises her eyebrow. She's like, never mind. You're a dragon, right? And he's like, yeah. Yep. I mean, what better person than me to be down here? In case it explodes and there's lots of fire, it doesn't hurt anybody else. You know, it won't hurt me.
Right.
So.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. If you need anything, let me know. Once again, engines are ready. Everything's going. Everything's running smooth.
She's gonna telepathy Gabor.
Okay.
Right. Hey, Gabor.
Yeah.
Are you busy?
Am I busy? No. Zombar and I are.
Can you gather the party that's not busy and then let me know? I have something to show you guys that is going to blow your freaking minds.
Well, Doll just came in. I have not seen Kara or Eden yet, but I think they were going to stay there all night. I'm not sure. Or at least till Stephanie is done with whatever she's doing. But Doll's here. Timmy's not here. I'll need to find him.
Just gather everybody and
Okay.
let me know
All right.
when you
I will
guys
do
are
so.
ready.
I will.
Okay. She'll turn around. She'll say thank you. She'll turn
You're
around and
welcome.
go back out.
All right, you go back out of engineering. Where do you go?
Back up to the meeting room. I think she showed them everything else, right?
Yeah, she did show the brig to Zen.
Oh yeah, she'll say, and then there's a brig down below.
But that's another way. You get to it another way.
She'll say there's a brig on the bottom floor, and then the kitchen.
And the cannons and all that.
and
So
the
you just give her a
cans.
tour.
Yeah,
Okay.
she just give them a tour, and then once they're done, she wants to go check on that doctor.
Okay. You walk in and the doctor's sitting at the desk and she kind of looks over you with a smile. She's like, I should have saw that coming.
You okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I should not have kissed her. That was all my fault. You see her pull a needle out of her arm and go onto the table and she's like, I'm okay. Fuck. Like a needle attached to some kind of tube.
What are you doing?
I'm giving myself an antidote for that shit.
Oh.
I still feel a little woozy. My arms didn't want to lift. What was that?
Guild secrets?
Put me to sleep for like an hour. I'll have to talk to her about that. By the way, welcome aboard, Captain.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you're the doctor, the healer?
Yes.
Do you need, like, an assistant or anything like that?
If you want. I mean,
so,
you know, another doctor wouldn't bother me at all, you know.
when my party gets here, or the new crew, however you want to refer to them, my friend Kara will be very interested in you in this area, so I hope you guys will get along.
She cute.
She's beautiful. She's a
Then,
priest.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
a priestess
sounds
of Gold Star.
That sounds good to me. Sounds yeah. Yeah. I always like making new friends. What color's your hair?
Red. Well,
Ooh.
auburn.
Ooh.
It's like an
fiery.
auburn red. It's like it's like a mixture of like brown and red, and she's gorgeous.
Zin's like, yeah, if I were you, I would move really slow with that one if that's what you're going to do. Because, yeah, I wouldn't want to see my friend hurt, if you know what I mean. She's not, yeah.
She's a gentle soul.
She is, and we would not like her to be hurt. You see her kind of smile. She's like, okay, no problem. Everything's good. Look, I've been in this fucking ship for 6 months. If I seem a little strange, it's because there's nothing but a half giant, a Hofflin, and a elf with a stick up her butt, and a dragon. Yeah, exactly. I have had no companionship, and so, hey, wait a minute. You're companions, right? How does that work?
You apply to be a part of the registry.
Oh,
The Companions Guild.
you apply.
Yeah, and you have to be vetted and approved by the guild.
Seems like, and you shouldn't try to have kissed one of them without their permission. Oh. She goes, yeah, you probably couldn't get vetted. And she smiles at her. She's like, oh, well, okay. I guess I'll just have to do it the natural way then, right? Like I said, yes, I'm pretty lonely on this ship. Captain, if I could request some shore leave, that would be great.
I'm sure we can work something out.
That'd be wonderful. Well, let us talk about that as soon as possible. Then, like, kind of pulls on your...
Yeah, she'll go with her.
And she goes out of the door. You guys come back into this meeting room right here, and that's where we're going to stop this evening.
Okay.
It's right there. Great shadow session. That was a lot of fun. Mouth open. Yep, things are going to be different.
Seth's just like, what the fuck are you doing, Ren? You have lost your mind.
Wait till the other party comes. They're going to be like, whoa.
You know what I love about her telepathy in Gabor, too?
What?
I know because of her non-detection, he probably can't detect whatever it was she was thinking that she's so damn excited about.
So,
it's a surprise.
Arcane engineers have a lot of spells that are affiliated with this sort of thing.
Yes.
But they also have spells that enable them to make things non-detected and things disappear, and so it's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Seth's gonna be spending a lot of time in the corner. Time out, pirate.
He'll get over it.
Yeah.
He'll get his space legs before too long, I'm sure. Anyway, guys, we appreciate you coming. We hope you enjoyed yourself as much as we did, and we will be back next week. This was episode 42. Wow. Getting close. So there will be 52 episodes for this season, not counting the shadow sessions. So if you go through and look at the shadow sessions, you can add those up and you'll find out how many more episodes are left for this season. And anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Like, subscribe, share, hit the ding ding, all that jazz.
There's a gift inside your God's granted me, a vision of the way to change reality. In the shadows creeping, can't rest your weary head. No time for you to sleep now, or evil it will spread. So gather all your friends and listen to my tale. Adventure story shaping magic and the veil. Dragons, devils, demons, and creatures that have failed, and heroes of the north. Just please don't be scared. The heroes are the monsters to the enemy. It all depends upon the way that you perceive. OriginalGM, we're here to set you free. Come join in the adventure. Who you wanna be? Who you wanna be? We Thank